Human social dynamics mirror the natural world in one crucial way. They instinctively test for weakness. If you project hesitation, desperation, or fear, the world recognizes a target. People naturally push boundaries, and the social circle closes in fastest on those who signal they cannot defend themselves. This vulnerability rarely stems from a lack of intelligence or physical strength. The root cause operates entirely under the surface. It is a deep, ingrained psychological craving for external validation, a desperate need to have our worth confirmed by the people around us. In psychology, this is known as an external locus of control. It is the subconscious belief that your value is dictated by outside forces. You rely on the opinions, reactions, and approval of others to gauge your own worth, tying your self-esteem to moving targets you can never truly predict. When you measure your value through these external metrics, you willingly hand over the remote control to your emotional state. You become a hostage, easily manipulated by anyone willing to grant or withhold the praise you crave. Historically, Stoic philosophers recognized this trap and proposed a radical alternative. They advocated for building an inner fortress, a core of unshakable self-respect that remains entirely indifferent to outside judgment or societal noise. Commanding true authority in your own life requires shifting from that external locus to an internal one. To do this, you must construct 3 distinct psychological walls to protect your mind from outside influence. Building this internal fortress requires a tactical reversal, identifying every point where you have allowed others to define your value and systematically reclaiming that power. The first wall addresses how we communicate. We often fall into the trap of oversharing, trading our deepest insecurities and failures for a brief moment of sympathy or connection. We mistakenly treat our vulnerabilities as social currency. Consider an old parable of an invincible elephant ruling the jungle. No predator could touch it, but the great elephant had one tiny physical weakness, a highly sensitive patch of thin skin right behind its large ear. Intoxicated by the sweet, flattering words of a passing fox, the elephant let its guard down and revealed this secret. The elephant's vulnerability, once a secret, became the tool the fox used to coordinate its destruction. The very next morning, the fox directed a swarm of biting insects and sharp-beaked birds straight to that exact patch of skin. This dynamic plays out constantly in human history. Julius Caesar was a brilliant tactician and the undisputed ruler of Rome, but he had a fatal, dangerous blind spot. He was highly emotional and placed blind trust in his inner circle. He shared his most intimate political strategies and personal fears with his closest confidant, Marcus Brutus. When rival senators stoked Brutus's ambitions, Brutus used that exact intimate knowledge, Caesar's hidden weaknesses and daily routines, to orchestrate a flawless, fatal ambush. True authority demands a rigorous emotional discipline. Every unvetted secret or insecurity you broadcast to the world is simply a weapon you hand directly to a future adversary. The second wall requires dismantling the fragile glass palace. We live in an era obsessed with the performance of authority. Rented luxury cars, heavily branded clothing, and carefully curated digital lives designed to project success. This display of status is a glaring signal of an external locus of control. It signals that you do not believe you possess value unless a stranger looks at the logo on your shirt and decides you are important. Contrast that fragile illusion with the reality of quiet, unshakable power. Take investor Warren Buffett. Despite possessing enough wealth to purchase entire nations, he drives a modest car, lives in the same house he bought decades ago, and wears ordinary suits. He intentionally skips the flashy performance because his name, his intellect, and his track record do all the heavy lifting. When someone with genuine internal competence walks into a room, the atmosphere shifts automatically. Societal respect magnetizes to quiet, proven capability. It never anchors to the desperate performance of wealth. The third and final wall is curing the habit of people-pleasing. Society often disguises endless accommodation as kindness, but constantly bending to the will of others systematically erodes your personal identity. Following the assassination of Julius Caesar, the Roman Republic collapsed into chaos. The empire was fractured, plagued by civil war and ambitious generals fighting for scraps of power. From this wreckage emerged Octavian, later known as Augustus Caesar. He faced immediate pressure from demanding courtiers and powerful senators who expected him to hand out favors to keep the peace. Instead, he met them with an absolute refusal to pander. Augustus prioritized a stable, disciplined empire over his own likability. He implemented rigid social reforms and eliminated political rivals without hesitation, actively making unpopular choices because they were necessary for the structure he was building. You cannot be universally liked and universally respected at the same time. Earning unshakable authority requires the emotional fortitude to make hard choices, set firm rules, and actively accept that some people will be angry with you. To see what this looks like in the modern world, consider the archetype of the corporate doormat. Let's call him. Anand operates on a single, fatal principle. He never says no. He covers shifts, takes on extra projects, and constantly accommodates his coworkers. He assumes this extreme self-sacrifice will buy him loyalty and a promotion. Instead, his boss hands him unpaid busy work. His colleagues dump their responsibilities onto his desk, and he becomes the punchline of office jokes. His total availability made his time entirely worthless. Then comes the psychological breaking point. Anand looks around and realizes that his strategy of purchasing respect through endless compliance has completely bankrupted his self-worth. He is exhausted, invisible, and entirely disrespected. The next time his boss drops a massive file on his desk right at closing time, Anand doesn't make an excuse or offer an apology. He looks his boss directly in the eye and calmly, firmly states that the task falls outside his department and his working hours, and he will not do it. The dynamic in the room shifts instantly. Respect is never granted as an act of charity by the people around you. It is only ever established at the exact perimeter where you decide to enforce your boundaries. True authority resides in the discipline of self-mastery. By regulating your own internal reactions, you deny others the primary tool needed to dominate you. When you cut the external strings and reverse the flow of validation, drawing it entirely from your own internal standards rather than the applause of the crowd, you build a permanent architecture of authority. Managing your private information, prioritizing competence over status, and setting firm boundaries creates a version of authority that no external shift can dismantle. By prioritizing self-respect over likability, you take control of your own decisions and your own future.